Good afternoon. Give me one moment to make sure that I am live. And it looks like I am. All right, very good. Good afternoon, Carol Buckalew with Inky Stampers. It is Wednesday, April 5th, 1 p.m. And I am back with another live card demonstration for you today. So my card today is a fun fold, and I'm calling this a center panel pop-out fun fold. And it is a wedding card, wedding or anniversary. And super simple and easy to make. I cased the fold for this card from my friend Mary over at Stamps and Linger. So thank you, Mary, for the fun fold idea. It is just a super neat card and super easy to make. Hi, Faith. Hi, Mary. Thanks so much for joining. Appreciate it. So I think what we'll do is let me just show you the products I used today. I used the two-tone Flora. Yes, thank you, Mary. I used the two-tone Flora stamp set and dies. Whoops, that's not two-tone Flora dies. That's two-tone floral dies. And these are carrying over in the new catalog, the new annual catalog. However, they won't be bundled anymore. And so when sets are bundled, you can save 10% by buying the bundle. I did check the online store this morning, and this is still available, both the stamp set and dies as a bundle. So if you're looking for that savings, you might want to go check out the last chance product sale. I also use the Something Fancy stamp set and dies, and the same with this set. Right now, you can still get it bundled. Hi, Akiko. Thanks so much for joining. But when the new catalog rolls out at the beginning of May, this will no longer be bundled. You'll miss that 10% savings. So I just wanted to make you aware. And then I use the Fancy Flora 6x6 Designer Series paper. This paper is absolutely gorgeous. It is still available. This is retiring. It won't be coming back after the end of this month. So I highly recommend that you pick up some of this paper. I mean, it is just beautiful. And it's kind of a abstract watercolor kind of look. Maybe not watercolor, I'm sorry. It's probably like acrylics or oil paints, but that kind of look, like a painting. And just beautiful. All right, so to get started here, we're going to do a little bit of stamping. As usual, I did some pre-cutting, just because the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine does make my desktop shake. I don't want to make anybody sick. So let's start off here. Got all my stamps stacked up here. See if I can pry them apart. But I am stamping the medium size flower from the two-tone stamp set. And I forgot to pull a scrap piece of paper out. Bear with me. Just get a scrap piece of paper here to stamp off on. So this is a two-step stamp for these flowers. This is the medium size flower. And I'm going to stamp this flower in Orchid Oasis ink onto baby blue cardstock. Not baby blue. I said that the other day. Balmy blue cardstock, excuse me. And I'm going to stamp the solid image first, and I'm going to second generation stamp that. So let me ink this up. I'm going to stamp off on my scrap paper, and then I am going to stamp onto the balmy blue cardstock. And I'm just kind of holding that stamp down for just a beat, just to get that ink transferred. Stamp off on my scrap paper and stamp onto the cardstock. There we go. Now, this stamp set, if I ink it up, you might be able to see it. This stamp set, the center of the flower is kind of a little half moon. Yeah, you can see that good on the video. is a little half moon. If you line that half moon up with the half moon on the stamped image, it's going to be perfectly lined up. So this is a very easy two-step stamp to line up. And you'll have to forgive me here. I've got to pull it closer to me so I can actually see what I'm doing here and not get my head in the video. There we go. So I am not stamping off with the detailed stamp. I am just stamping directly onto my cardstock. There we go. And you can see just how pretty those flowers stamp. This is such a gorgeous, gorgeous set. Just gorgeous. That's it for the flowers. I need 2 of those. And then I've got the large greenery sprig from the two-tone Flora stamp set. And I am going to stamp 2 of those onto my Balmy Blue cardstock using Balmy Blue ink. And so you might wonder about, okay, Carol, your leaves aren't green. Well, I created this card for the Happy Inkin' Thursday blog hop, and we have a color challenge tomorrow. So this card will be up on my blog tomorrow. Oh, thank you, Akiko. I like the colors, but some people might think that blue blue leaves are a little strange. And I played around, honestly, with the colors for a while for this card. And this was what I came up with. I like it. I hope you do too. And so I've got my 2 leaves there. And we are done with that. And then I am going to go ahead and I may have forgotten to get a sentiment out. Well, let me grab my sentiment. One of them anyway. Sorry about that. Thought, you know, you always think you're prepared, but yeah. When you actually need to be, sometimes you forget things. And so I am laying my stamp block down on my grid paper. And I am going to, best of my ability, line up the text with the grid on my grid paper. And see how I did there. Actually, this is being die cut, so not super fussy, but we do like to try to get them straight. So I have a piece of soft succulent cardstock here. They're artsy, yes, I agree, Mary. And we're going to waste this ink, and I'm going to stamp on soft succulent. And this is the greeting, the sentiment for the front of our card. And again, this doesn't have to be super fussy. I just rocked that stamp, so hopefully we get a nice image. Yeah, that looks good to me. Okay, very good. All right, and I'm going to keep that ink out. So that is our sentiment for the front of the card. This is the panel for the back of the card. Since this card is a fun fold, you know, we want to give people a place to write a personal sentiment. So this panel is going to actually go on the center panel on the back side of the card. And our greeting for that panel is congratulations. So this card could be a wedding card, but I think it also works as an anniversary card, a new beginnings card, like maybe somebody, you know, just bought a new home or just got a really great job, whatever. So I'm going to stamp the congratulations just here at the top of the panel. Okay. And I am going to stamp the flower in the lower corner, the same flower that we stamped just a moment ago. So I'm inking up the detail or fill, not the detail, I'm inking up the fill stamp for this flower, and doesn't seem to, I think my ink pad is getting dry. I'm trying to grab the ink here on the edges of the stamp pad. And I'm going to just stamp this off here at the bottom. And just hold that for a minute. Let that ink transfer nicely. Okay. And then I'm inking up the detail stamp and I'm going to stamp directly onto the panel. And let me just turn that so I can see it. There we go. Okay. And that is our inside panel all done. And that's it for the stamping. Now I did go ahead and pre-cut these, as I mentioned, just because the Stampin' Cut and Emboss really shakes my table. But let me get my embellishments out. But what I did was, let me grab the die so I can show you what I did. So this is from the Something Fancy die set. And I used this small tag die. So this set has some little inserts that would fit inside the top of that die to leave a hole, right? So you can make it a tag. I'm calling it a tag, even though I didn't cut the hole in the top, you know, but that die will cut out our sentiment like that. And then, you know, on a separate piece of Orchid Oasis, I cut the larger of the tags out to give a mat to our sentiment. So those are the two tags that I used, the two dies that I used. Just wanted to give you a look at that. Alrighty. But we can go ahead and start putting our card together. The card base is in Calypso Coral, and it is cut at 11 by 4 1/4, and it is scored at 2 1/4, 3 5/8, 7 3/8, and 8 3/4. And then the first fold at the 2 1/4 score line is a valley fold. The next two score lines are mountain folds. And then the last score line is another valley fold, so that the card folds up like this. And I don't think that I crease these score lines, so let me do that real quick and just give them a nice crease. To keep reminding myself to stay on camera. All right, there we go. So that is the fold. Let me get my pieces here for my card. I have cut panels for the two side panels and the center panel, both mats and panels. And all of these measurements will be out on my blog tomorrow. When I cut the side panels, I cut from the same piece of DSP. And so if I were to put this paper together, it matches up. So I kind of just want to be aware. This one goes on the right, this one goes on the left when I go ahead and put these together. So let me get these glued up. I really like this fold, Faith. It's just so simple. Some of them can be complicated, intimidating maybe, but this one is not. It's just really easy and fun. And I love fun folds that allow you to show off pretty paper. I just really, really like that. So I was super excited this morning. I was at my desk working, and the big brown truck pulled up, and my Demonstrator pre-order arrived. And I am so completely impressed with Stampin' Up. They did a really great job getting the orders out quickly, I think. So kudos to Stampin' Up. But yeah, I can't wait to start sharing. I can't wait to start sharing products with you guys. That'll be fun. Okay. I'm just trying to leave an equal reveal around the DSP here. And let me get, and then for the center, I chose a soft succulent print. The side panels are Calypso Coral, Evening Evergreen, a balmy blue, soft succulent, kind of everything. But very, very pretty. But I wanted something more sedate for the center panel because I already have kind of a lot going on. And honestly, I did, I will be very honest. I struggled a little bit with these colors for our color challenge, but I think the result is pretty. In my eyes, it is. I hope you guys think so too. All right, that is our center panel and our two side panels. And let me go ahead and mat up our back panel as well, since we've got all of that stamped. Oh no, Faith, just for future reference, if you forget to click on the delivery option you want, you can go back at the top of the page, go back to that first screen, pick your option, and then you can go ahead to the last screen if that's how far you've made it in the process. And you should be good to go, because I did the same thing. I didn't click on next day delivery right away. I went back and did it. Okay, there we go. So we can get these glued up onto our card base. So go ahead and put the back panel on first. Oh, you couldn't figure out how to change it. Yeah, it's frustrating sometimes. But I will say that, I mean, I placed my order probably around 7 a.m. yesterday morning. And I want to say by like 9 o'clock, maybe earlier, UPS was pulling up. I couldn't believe it. Just trying to get this panel on straight. Straight is always good. Okay, that's our back panel. And we'll go ahead. And again, remember the side panels. I want to make sure that the pattern kind of lines up. Although in the grand scheme of things, I'm not sure if anybody would notice. But Rosie, hi. Thanks so much for joining. I was just saying, Rosie, that the big brown truck showed up bright and early this morning with my Stampin' Up! Pre-order, which is always fun. And I did open the boxes, but I haven't really pulled stuff out yet. I need to do that. Oh, but the new colors are so pretty. So pretty. Can't wait to share with all of you. All right. Which will probably be maybe my card for Friday. Who knows? See how much I get put away and organized. And we just get this other panel on here, trying to leave an equal reveal all around the card. And then our center panel. Now, this has kind of a dark area at the bottom. And I think I want to put that up towards the top, only because I want those blue flowers, those Orchid Oasis flowers, to be able to show up really good. And those are the kinds of things when you're working with DSP that kind of has, you know, a multi-tone appearance. Those are things to take into consideration sometimes. There we go. So we've got our panels on the card, and we can work on, let me glue up the sentiment label onto its mat. Rosie, how much snow did you end up getting? I know you guys were under a blizzard warning earlier in the week. I missed what you're saying, Faith. Hint, hint, hint. Oh, that maybe I'm going to share goodies on Friday? New goodies? We could do that. All right, so what I want to do, let me grab my tweezers. And what I want to do is I want to, oh, you got 15 inches, Rosie. Oh my goodness. So I want my flowers, so this would be the right side of the flower, kind of, right, the bowl or the petals going up this way. I want my flowers to face down. And I'm going to overlap them on the center panel here. And then the little greenery, right, or the bluery, if that's a word, I want to kind of go off to the side. And I'm just kind of double checking. And then my sentiment label is going to, I need to move those flowers down just a bit. So it's always a good idea to dry fit and get an idea of placement before you actually glue things down. But I do want my sentiment label at an angle, kind of towards the top left of this panel. So just trying to get an idea, and I'm going to hold on to that and keep it close by and wiggle my things around using glue so I have the opportunity to wiggle a little bit. But I just want to make sure that I've got everything where I want it. And I do have these stems hanging off the right and left side. So if we put it like that, just quickly double check. Move those flowers down just a tad. And that looks good to me. I'm actually going to pick these flowers up together and just apply a little bit of glue on the backs here. I'm not needing to tuck anything in, but you really just need a little bit of glue. And I think I want them angled that way. Now this is where I definitely want to check. Whoops. See, it already slid. But let's just double check there. Maybe move this one down a tad. It already wants to stick. Just move that one down a tad. And that one up just a tad. Let's check that now. Okay, I think that's going to work. Go ahead and get those stuck down. And then grab some Stampin' Dimensionals, and we will pop up the sentiment label. I can't even imagine 15 inches of snow in April. Oh, that has to be so discouraging. Right, you're so ready for spring, and wham. We've gotten snow in April here before, but it's never very much, and it definitely doesn't stick around long, which is a good thing. You're not a Calypso coral person. I kind of like Calypso coral, but I'm an orange girl. I totally love orange, so that's kind of right up my alley. I always think of Calypso coral as a spicy color. I don't know why. All right, and so just again, eyeballing, the tag is going up towards the top and at an angle, and that looks good to me. All right, we are nearly done. I used some of the Orchid Oasis metallic woven ribbon. I actually tied on my sample card a triple bow. I'm not sure if I've got enough ribbon here, but we'll see. But I just wanted this is really thin ribbon, and I wanted a fluffy bow. So yeah, I've got plenty here. I have to get some more ordered. I don't know what you mean. I guess I'm being dense today. What do you mean, Rosie? Not friends with Amy. Oh, the orange. Yeah, Amy doesn't care for orange. Well, you know, hey, to each his own. But I've always been a red and orange person. I'm not sure why. Just like it. Let me pull these a little tighter because I know this will pull out. Okay, that looks good to me. And I am going to go ahead and even up these little tails here with my ribbon scissors. And it may be too long. I may need to... No, I like it. I like it. I just would mention that you might want to just kind of tease out those loops, and the ribbon's all sticking together. I can't get it separated. Come on. Well, that loop doesn't want to cooperate. Hold on here. Get my tweezers in there. There we go. But I just kind of, on my original card, just kind of tease those loops out a little bit just to fluff it up. Problem is the ribbon is thin and my hands don't want to function. All right, I'm going to use a mini glue dot to adhere the bow just to the, hey Mom, thanks for joining. Thank you. Going to adhere this bow just at the top of our sentiment tag, like that. And you can kind of move those little tails out of the way if need be. And this one, for some reason, is just a tad longer than the others. There we go. All right, and let me see here. Embellishments. Let's not forget the embellishments. And I am using the silver festive pearls, and these are adhesive backed, which is always a good thing, right? Because they're tiny. I would hate to have to glue these on. I'm going to put one at the top of the sentiment label tag, as if that's our little hole for the tag. And then I'm just going to place a couple around the card front on the center panel. And let's put one there. Yeah, I think that's enough. 3's usually my number for those things. And then the only thing we have left to do is to adhere a piece of coordinating DSP onto our envelope flat. I've already pre-stamped the flower on the envelope. So Last Chance product sale is going on now through May 1st. May 1st? May 2nd? Now I've forgotten the date. But you have the opportunity to grab retiring items from the current annual and mini catalogs at up to 60% off. And I was perusing the retirement list, and there are indeed some things 60% off. And I saw, I think, a couple of stamp sets at 60% off, which is awesome. So be sure to check out the Last Chance products. Those are the retiring items. If you go to my blog post at inkybstampers.com, I have the retirement lists for both catalogs, as well as a link to my online store if you'd like to check out, what's available. And I will tell you that, things get grabbed up quickly. There's already some items gone, and, others on low inventory, especially like outgoing colors. So you definitely want to check that out sooner rather than later. Okay, that is my card for today. I hope you like the colors. Let me share something with you. I did, I wasn't kidding. I was testing out other colors on the card. Oh, thank you, Rosie. Appreciate it. And so I did some Calypso Coral flowers. What do you think? Calypso Coral or Orchid Oasis? What are your thoughts? I know which one I prefer, but... Oh, thank you, Amy. Thanks for joining. Anybody have any thoughts on Calypso Coral flowers versus Orchid Oasis? Well, I can tell you that the Orchid Oasis is my favorite. It doesn't look bad with the Calypso Coral. I tried Daffodil Delight as well. But I ended up going with the Orchid Oasis. That's one of my favorites. So 2 cards here, done. And I want to thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it. You like the Orchid Oasis. Mary likes Orchid Oasis. Mom likes Orchid Oasis. Yeah, me too. It's different. It's a different color combination on this card, but I really do like how it turned out. I hope you enjoyed it as well. Thank you all so much for joining. You have a wonderful rest of the day, and I will see you all back next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Take care. Bye-bye.